Hey everyone! I hope that you are having a fantastic Friday for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere with me, and a triumphant Thursday for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere. Make sure as you are jumping onto tonight's session, you let me know where you are listening in from. I always love to know where I'm reaching out to, whether it's Australia, New Zealand, America, the UK. Now, the reason why I titled today is there is always a solution. Try looking at it another way. Is when I was little, I used to always watch James and the Giant Peach. And at the start of the movie, James is on the beach with his mum and dad, and they're looking at the clouds, and the mum and dad can see something in the clouds. And they're like, oh, what can you see in the clouds? And James is like, I can't see anything. And then his mother's like, try looking at it another way. And he tilts his head and he can see the Empire State Building, and that's where they're going on holiday. They're going to go to New York. And if you haven't watched James and the Giant Peach, I'm not going to give the rest of the story away. You have to go and watch it for yourself. And many years ago, I also watched Jack and the Beanstalk, the real story. Now, about 5 weeks ago, I found this on eBay and I purchased it, and it arrived yesterday. And I was so excited. And I put it into my DVD player and I put it on the DVD channel, and I closed the DVD player, and my DVD player says, can't play this DVD. And I'm like, what? And then I said to my housemate, can you try on your stuff? It's like, this DVD is a region 2. I only play region 4. And I'm like, oh no. But I went to my stepmom's today, and my stepmom has a portable DVD player, and guess what? It plays beautifully. So I have a solution. I just watched this on my stepmom's portable DVD player. I was like, oh, damn it, I'm going to have to send it back, and I'm going to have to wait another fuss. And so through this whole COVID thing, I have been very blessed that JobSeeker has allowed me to pay all my bills and pay all my expenses. But now that's starting to pull back. And I was like, oh, well, there's no beauty therapy jobs. And when I saw my stepmom today, she's like, are you opposed to going back into allied health? Because I'm a qualified allied health assistant. And I'm like, no, I'd go back. And she's like, because there's heaps of AHA jobs going. And I'm like, oh, really? So we applied for a job that I'm really excited about, and I'm actually really looking forward to it, and I really want them to call me because it's actually a really cool job, and I'd actually be doing things that I really love to do because I loved being an allied health assistant. It's just I didn't have enough work to keep me busy. So here I was stressing about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do for work? What am I going to do for money? And my stepmom was like, go back into AHA work. So I want you to think about a situation that you are freaking out over. And it might be, how can I afford the bills? Or, what can I do for work? And I would really encourage you to start having a look at what you're qualified to do. I was just reading Marie Kondo's book, The Art of Tidying, today. And one of her clients during the tidying process realized that the only books she kept were books about social justice and social work. And this woman realized that she loves helping mums. So this woman quit her job and she started a babysitting service. And it gives her so much joy and fulfillment. And she's always booked. There's always mums that are, using her service. So what I, did was have a look around my house and be like, I could post that on Facebook Marketplace. And power went a bit funny. Oh, I think we're having a power outage. Oh, I don't know. We'll see what happens. So posting things on Facebook Marketplace, and also doing a big, I'm getting a hard waste collection done. And I'm going to be clearing and doing a lot of decluttering. And I know that I am going to feel so incredible when I do like a big cleansing of the house, because I feel like it's really cluttered and I really do feel like I'm holding on to things that I really don't need. So I would love for you to type in the comments a situation that's kind of doing your head in, that you really need to try looking at it another way and you're not sure how to look at it. Because what can happen is when you're in the situation, you can't see other options. You can't see the solution. It really does take an outsider to say, hey, this is what the situation actually looks like. Because sometimes what can happen is when we're in the situation, we exaggerate everything and we can really make a mountain out of a molehill. And when you ask other people, not too many people, I would really ask for maybe 1 or 2 people at most to look at the situation. Someone who's really unbiased, someone who's willing to just give you the truth and really see the situation from a different perspective and a different aspect. So that's very much the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, the real story. So this is modern, and modern day Jack is very busy. He doesn't have time for anything. He doesn't have time for love. He doesn't have time to just chill out, because he feels like it's his responsibility to make sure that his business is profitable so that, employees have a paycheck and employees have a job to go to. And what happens is this Jack doesn't know that he's actually the descendant of Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk. Everyone thinks it's a story, everyone thinks it's a myth, but he's the descendant of Jack that climbed the beanstalk. And what happens is Jack has to go up to the land of the giants. And with the land of the giants, Jack has a completely different perspective, because time is so completely different. So one day in the land of the giants is 1 year here. So when he goes up to the land of the giants, he's put on trial for a crime that was committed 365 years ago for him, but for the giants, it only happened 12 months ago. Like to the day, it's been a year since they lost their giant. So Jack has to help them see things in a different way. And he has to find a solution for something that he didn't do. And he has to see things in a whole new way. He has to see living life in a whole new way. He has to make time for love. He has to make time for living life. There's a time to work and there's a time to play. And that's what Jack has to learn on his journey. And he figures out the solution to being able to work and play. Take care of everyone as well as take care of himself. And that's what I love about movies. That's what I love about the shows that I watch on Netflix, is that you are made to see the world from a different perspective. And sometimes when you watch a movie or you watch a TV show on Netflix, sometimes you can find the solution to your answer because that movie or that TV show has allowed you to see your situation in a completely different way. And I have found a lot of times that I've found the solution to my problems through reading a book, through a movie that I've watched, or by speaking to my step-parents. I'm the kind of person that I respect and appreciate my elders. I respect that there are things that I don't know that someone older than me knows. So I'll always go to my step-parents because my step-parents are completely unbiased and they're completely unjudgmental. They really just see things as they are, and they've experienced lows, and they've had successes and they've had failures like everyone. But the thing is that they haven't fallen into a mess and woe is me. They've always figured it out. They've always found the solution to any problem that they face. And whether that's going from working for yourself to, being an employee, or whether that is, taking on a second job, or whether that is outsourcing tasks to other people. There's always a way to create your ideal life. There is always a way to live life on your terms. Now, as an employee, you can actually choose how far you choose to work away from home. You can actually find jobs in the industry of your choice within a distance you're willing to travel. Some people are willing to drive half an hour to work. Some people are willing to catch public transport to get to work. Some people, they want a bike ride to work. So really deciding and knowing the non-negotiables of your life is really what helps you to find the solution. So, mine and my brother's overseas trip, we have the non-negotiable aspects of our holiday. And the non-negotiable aspects is that we're doing theme parks and we're doing the sporting events. And our solution is we have created a plan for if we just have an ESTA, which means 90 days, or if we get a tourist visa and we've got 6 months. So we've got our two plans in place. Hey, SJ. So we've got our two plans in place. So we know that if we've only got 90 days to be in the country, we know what we're going to do. Yes, I am much better. Thank you, SJ. I have a lot more clarity and focus, so I'm doing very well now. So if we've only got the 90 days, we know that, okay, we're doing this in 90 days, and then we're going to do, this, and then, we'll do our next 90 days. Or if we get our travel visa, okay, well, this is what we're doing, and we've got 6 months to do it in. So, my stepbrother and my stepmom and my brother have painstakingly worked out, you know, where we're flying into, where we're flying out of, where I'm driving to, where I'm staying overnight, where I'm just driving to get to the next place, what we're doing in this town, what we're doing in that town, what theme park is in this place, what sporting event is in that place. Like, really fine tuning it so that everything is covered. And my stepmom has like every roadblock that my brother's like thrown into the mix, my stepmom's figured out a solution. So like today they called one of the accommodation chains, and one of the accommodation chains is like, yeah, well, you know, when you stay at our accommodation, you have this many points. And once you have earned this many points, you actually get a free night of accommodation. So we know that we're staying in enough of this chain's accommodations that we're going to be saving about $2,000 on accommodation. There was a problem. My stepmom found a solution. And that's what you have to do. When you have a problem, sometimes you need someone else to look at the situation to be able to figure out what needs to happen. And it's so funny for me when my stepmom and my brother are, you know, telling me what's happening with the trip. And it's like, it's so much. It's so crazy. All the things that we're going to be doing. And, you know, my stepmom's like, okay, you're flying into here and you're doing this and you're driving here and then you're flying here and you're driving there. I'm like, okay, yep, cool. And I'm listening, I'm processing it all. And I'm just like, oh, this is fine-tuned holiday that my stepmom should really get a job as a travel agent. And my brother keeps saying, oh, why don't we just go to Flight Centre? I'm like, honey, no Flight Centre person would do the amount of shit that mum has done of trying to figure out and coordinate this holiday. The hours and the days and the weeks that my stepmom has put into coordinating this holiday. By the time we get there, my stepmom won't need to ask us, oh, where are you today? My stepmom will know exactly where we are. She'll be like, oh, how's Arlington today? Or how's Houston today? I know. Oh my gosh, SJ, it is crazy. So we fly into New York, and so we're doing New York, we're doing Hartford, Connecticut, we're doing bits and pieces of Canada. Like we're pretty much, my brother figured out today, we're pretty much doing, hey Natasha, we're pretty much doing 41 of the 50 odd states. He's figured out that we're doing all of America except the Midwest. It is epic, and I'm really excited about it. Like, there's theme parks we're going to all over the place. There is, like, I'm going to pretty much all the movies I grew up with and all the TV shows I grew up with. I'm pretty much going to everywhere that they were filmed. And, you know, my brother keeps throwing, like, spanners, or my brother keeps, you know, adding things. And so my stepmom, you know, has figured out, okay, so like this, she's tried to figure out the route that I'm not driving back and forward and all over the place. She's trying to figure out that, you know, okay, so this is how you're doing the East Coast, and then this is how you're doing the West Coast. Like, this is how you're doing the East Coast of Canada and America, and this is how you're doing the West Coast of Canada and America. And because I have clarity, SJ, and when you have clarity and when you have direction, it shows. And, you know, today sitting down with my stepmom and being like, hey, I'll go back into allied health assistance. I loved being an allied health assistant. I just have to find the right environment to do that job in. So, you know, applying for that job and actually really being excited about that job. Like, I'm like, oh, they better call me because I really like that job. And, you know, really believing and receiving that, you know, my cover letter is going to, you know, blow them out of the water and you know, my resume is going to be like, oh, like we have to have this girl, like no one's better than this girl. So watch this space. I will keep you updated with what happens there. But I really want you to accept that I know what it feels like to be stuck in a situation. I know what it feels like to be like, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how. But when you ask for help, a solution will be found. And, you know, my stepmom, she said to my brother and I today, because, you know, he wants to do Japan and he wants to do England and he wants to do other parts. And my stepmom's like, look, let's focus on, if you've got the money to do other places, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. But, you know, because my brother's stressing about not having the money to do everything, and I've been stressing a bit, and my stepmom's like, kids, you have got the money to do America and Canada. You've got the money. If you have to do another trip to do the other stuff, if you have to save up and do the other stuff as another trip, so be it. But America and Canada are going to happen. And both of us were like, yeah, America and Canada are going to happen. Like, it's all good. So there is always a solution. You just have to try looking at it another way. So if you're in the thick of a situation and you're like, you can't see a way out, I really would encourage you to reach out and be like, Amy, I'm stuck. And if I don't know how to get you unstuck, I guarantee you, my stepmom will know how to get you unstuck. And, you know, that was so incredibly freeing for me today. Like, sitting down with my stepmom and having my stepmom help me fix up my resume, because I knew that, you know, I could tweak my resume. I knew that I could make my resume better. I just wasn't sure what to do with it. But my stepmom, you know, guided me through my resume. And my stepmom, she's incredible. She doesn't just go ahead and do stuff. She will ask you. She wants you to have input in the decision making. So, you know, there were parts of my resume was like one formatting, you know, another formatting and a different formatting, and we're like, I like that formatting. So she reformatted it so it was like how I liked it. And she took out the things, like she read it as if she was an employer and what she wanted to see in a resume. And she took out things that weren't necessary to be in them. And she really made it look incredible. And even with my cover letter, you know, writing my cover letter and having her review it and having her read it as an employer and, you know, giving me the right words, like helping me to express my message more clearly. And then reading over my cover letter, I'm like, yes, that's how I want to express myself. So I really do want you to receive this permission that it's okay to be stuck in a situation and need to ask for help to get out of the situation. I want you to know that it's okay for you to not know everything. It's okay for you to not have all the answers. But what I want you to do is find the people that have the answers. Find the people who can help you. They know what you don't know. And really be encouraged that it's okay to ask for help. You're not stupid. You are not a failure. You're not dumb. You're not an idiot for asking for help. You are acknowledging that I know a lot of things, but I don't know everything. And I will chase after the people who know what I don't know, get them to teach me, and then I will know what I didn't know. And always constantly figuring out what you don't know, finding the people to teach you, and implement what they teach you, so that every day you are becoming the best version of yourself. You are using the skills and knowledge and your toolkit to create the life that you want to lead, the life that is on your terms. So I really do want to thank you for joining me in tonight's session. I really do hope that you got value out of it and that you will go and seek help to get out of any situation that you're feeling stuck in, that you happily reach out to me help, because I allow universe to talk to you through me, and I've always found that universe helps me say exactly what you need to hear. And sometimes I may not know the answer, but universe guides me. So I really look forward to seeing you in tomorrow night's session. As I say, I never pre-plan the next day's sessions. I really do allow universe to use me to speak to you. So I really do hope that you did get incredible value out of tonight's session. I look forward to seeing you in our power meditation tomorrow morning. I was really focused on my journaling this morning. So today's session was at 6:45, but tomorrow's will be at 6 a.m. Unless I have, resounding requests to, push it to 7 a.m. And for those of you that can't make it to tomorrow's morning session at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow night's session. So whether it is the evening for you in the Southern Hemisphere with me, or it is the start of your day in the Northern Hemisphere, have a fantastic Friday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Be safe, be well, much love.